survivor Miriam Rubin. Miriam, how did you find out that you were going to be evacuated from Auschwitz?
Wait, wait, Auschwitz. No, before. Well, you're already in the camp. We're ready to leave. Go to other place. With my group, we just we didn't really know where we were going or what we were doing. It just, people were told to get up and leave, and we got up and we were leaving. People were talking. Her friends told her.
And where did they take you?
And then Auschwitz. It's on the paper. It goes to what's the name there? Do you have that? I hardly remember. Do you have that?
Okay, but they took you.
I have the listing. I can't remember exactly. It's in my paper.
They took you by train.
Okay. Again on the train. Always on the train. You couldn't walk. Everything was so far. It was impossible to walk.
And they took you to. What was the name of the next place? Was it Ravensbrück?
Yes. That's right. Ravensbrück, right. I think I was there only for 3 weeks.
And
some places were terrible, some places were a little better.
And what did you do in Ravensbrück for the 3 weeks?
Nothing. Same thing. Bringing more rocks, standing up every day for the roll call. First time I worked was in Bendorf for one more. I'm sorry. I worked the first time in Bendorf. Bendorf?
That was a little later.
Okay.
A little later?
That was later. First Auschwitz.
And Ravensbrück?
Yeah, right. I have it on the paper there.
Okay. And did you stay together with your friends?
When you Yes. They were with me all the way to Sweden until we were free. We were able to be together. We were all, that was nice. We were lucky to be together until we were free. Thank God. And we could go home. And people took good care of us finally. And they gave us new things. I felt stronger. Do you want to go there?
Okay. And
okay.
Being together, what season of the year was it that you left Auschwitz? Was it cold? Was it winter?
I left in October. I remember it was October. Auschwitz for 6 months, so May, June, July, August, October, right, I'm right, 6 months, October.
And then from Ravensbrück, they took you to Bendorf. And in Bendorf, what kind of a place was that?
I worked there for 4 months. I worked in the metal, like an assembly line. That's what I was talking again. That's the same. That's what I said before. That's where I had worked on an assembly.
And is that where you met the German soldier?
That's right.
Who was nice to you?
Yeah. That's when she met the man. Right. Yes, he was a supervisor. He's the one who gave us all the work. Finally, he came to me. He was a nice man. He was a nice soldier. He had to be a Nazi, and he had to accept what he had to do, but he was nice to me. He was good to me.
And what was your food like there? Yeah. In Bendorf? Was it better than Auschwitz?
Yeah, it was the same thing. Coffee, a little piece of bread, and a little soup. But I would hold on to my bread a little bit at a time. I would spread it out all over the, through the day. Oh, if people saw your bread or you dropped your bread, people took it from you. I keep it in my shirt. Keep it close to me all the time and eat a little bit all day.
And you were guarded by Germans in Bendorf?
Of course. Nazis everywhere, of course.
And you worked on the assembly line the entire time you were in Bendorf for the 4 months?
Yeah, same thing. 4 months. Yeah, every day, same thing.
And then when did you leave when you left Bendorf, where did you go from there?
Different places. I worked at bunch of different places. It's hard to remember the exact order. But after Bendorf, I was all over. And the last thing, we were in the woods for 12 days with no food, no drink. People died. Oh, a lot of people died then. And the soldiers would have shot us all, but the Americans were flying overhead. And the soldiers went to hide from the Americans. That's how we survived through that forest.
You told me before that you worked in some kind of a mine, a salt mine.
So, in Bendorf, that was in Bendorf also.
So that was one of the things, besides the assembly line, that was something else that you did?
Yes, that's right, yes.
Can you describe that for me a little bit?
Can you explain that? It was dark. You'd have to go down. You have the information on my paper. It was dark, and we were all going together. We were down deep. All the walls were covered with salt. And it was cold. It was very cold down there. And you'd have to go down far. And you'd work. And the soldiers, same thing. The soldiers were all down there, and the soldiers with guns all the time following us with guns pointed.
And what kind of work did you have to do?
What kind of work did? No, they were looking for metal. I don't even know what we were doing it for. So just putting these metal pieces together. But when you go in the mine, right, and then that's where we worked down there. We worked down in the mines. That's where the assembly was.
Yeah. Okay. And the food was not any better while you were there because they were working you so hard?
No, they gave you this little piece of bread. But thank God, this the one soldier gave us more food. Gave me more food. Other people didn't know that he was giving me more food. Thank God.
Did they give you any extra clothing to go down there because it was cold?
Cold. Extra clothes? No, nothing. No, what do you think? The Nazis? They were no better. Nothing was better there. We were slaves. We suffered so much.
Did you have shoes?
Did you have shoes? Yes, we had shoes. Some people were barefoot. Some people did not have shoes, but you had. I had shoes.
And how did you treat each other in the barracks? How did the people treat each other?
Everybody, it was just, I can't explain, it was just so sad. Everybody was just so sad. And we were slaves, we were whipped, we were beaten every day. I mean, there's too many things happening to us, so. If you're bad, you did anything wrong, you get 25 lashings. You know, the German soldiers would lash 25 times. Anything you did bad.
Were there just women working in the mine or men also?
Working. Women. No, the men were separate. I don't know where the men were. This was also all women. You worked with all women. All women were with me.
And what happened on the day that you left? What happened when you left Bendorf? How did you know you were leaving, and where did they take you?
You saw people with my friends, and that, you know, I just saw we were all moving. I don't know, you know, what the order was. Everybody doesn't know where we're going. And my friends told me what towns we were going to here and there. We traveled. That's why I was able to write it down. If my friends weren't with me, I would never known where I was going, but I knew a little. At that time, I knew where I was going, but now I have it written down. My friends would tell me where we were going and the name of the towns that we were in the next.
And where did they take you when you left Bendorf?
Just different places. We just traveled. We kept moving different places from there. 2 weeks, 3 weeks. There was like a different camp and a different camp and a different camp. I have it all on that paper.
And did they take you by train?
Again, train. By train, yes.
And then you mentioned something about being in the woods. Can you describe that for me? Explain that?
12 days. People all over falling down, laying down, dying. And the Germans, the Nazis couldn't shoot us. They wanted to, but they couldn't because the, okay, right, the Germans would have killed us except for at that time, suddenly there were American airplanes overhead. And the Nazis hid. And that's the only reason we survived, or we would all have been dead in the woods.
They were with you in the woods and they were guarding you while you were there?
Sure, the Nazis. And they hid when they saw that when the Americans came. They hid in the trenches like in like a gully, and they were just left, dying on the ground from start. They were too tired. They'd been walking. People didn't know we didn't know if some were alive or dead. There was no food, no drink for 12 days. 12 days we were just staying in the woods. But I have no idea where that was. I don't know where that town was.
They didn't give you any water during that time?
During that time. No water for 12 days, no water or food. And that's why so many died. So many died there in the woods. I had my little bread. I still had my bread with me. I just nibble on that bread. Oh, I was so afraid. And every day I would just tiny pieces of bread I would eat at a time.
And from there, did anybody try to escape?
From 12 No, the soldiers were there. The soldiers were there, and you couldn't. And we were in the woods. Where are you going? No one knew where we were.
How did you feel?
Everybody's so weak. They were so weak. There was no food, no drink. You couldn't even think to escape.
How did you feel when you saw the airplanes?
Oh God, I hope I'm free. I hope I'm free. I see the American airplanes. I was hoping I was free. People that heard, people that could hear, would say to me, "It's America, that's America." But some of them were dying anyway.
And after the 12 days,
I feel chilly.
After the 12 days, what happened then?
That's it. That was. We went to different places. It's on the paper there. We went to different places still after that. Different towns.
And they walked you? You walked?
We walked to trains. We took trains. We walked.
And where did you end up?
You have it on my paper there. Papenby's town. That's it. I'm sorry. Yes. That's the last place we were at.
And that was also a camp?
That's where that's where the Americans came. The Swedish, the Red Cross. Oh, it's so wonderful. Everyone was free. We knew we were free. We knew it was over. Oh, we threw our food out finally. I couldn't wait to get. The Red Cross gave us everything. They took us on the train. We went to Denmark. And they gave us food for the first time. We ate well. That was the first thing we did, was eat well. And then in Denmark, everyone had to take a bath. We threw away our clothes and we got new clothes. Oh, it was impossible. It was so impossible. I'm free in Denmark. I'm happy, and so many people died right there. Just right after being free. We did went to a hotel. It was clean. We slept on the floor again, but it was clean and it was safe. And safe. And thank God he felt safe and Messiah, the Messiah. No, M-E-S-I-A. God, but, you know, the God had given us the Messiah. And we were free. And we were free. Oh, it felt so good. That was the last.
And how long?
Some people did get sick and people died right after getting freed.
And how long did you stay in Denmark?
How long did you stay? Not long. In Denmark, we went there for a bath. We were all like in not a house bath, you know, we took baths like in tents, like right, so many people at the same time. And everyone was sick and very disgusting. So there were doctors, all the doctors and nurses had our masks on because we all were diseased. And they burned our clothes, they burned our, because the smell was just amazing. So we stayed in Denmark a few days, not long. Then we went to a Jewish town, a Swedish town, Melmar? Was that down?
Can you spell
Maybe I forgot. Can you spell it? M-A-L-M-O, Malamar. That's the name of a Swedish town.
And they took you there?
And there they gave us all new clothes. That's where they gave us all new clothes and shoes. And we were there in homes and we were freed. And from Denmark to Malmo, we took a ship. We couldn't take a train from there. There was too much water around Sweden. We took a ship. Oh, the good food. It was like homemade food, and it was freedom.
What were your hopes?
Thank God the Red Cross was there and saved everyone. And the Germans lost.
And what were your hopes at this time?
Good. Hope for. I hope my mother and father, and I hope, what I'm hoping is that they'll send for me. We went to see how many people survived, and I was hoping that they had survived, and I would see them.
What was your health like?
Good. I was sick. I had pneumonia. I was in 3 months in the hospital. Right. It wasn't exactly a hospital, but they set up like a hospital in a school, and I was there for 3 months.
And this was where in Sweden?
In Sweden. Yeah, of course, yeah, that was it. We got to Sweden, that was it. I didn't leave. From Sweden, I came to America. That was it. So, some people from Sweden went to Israel. Some went to England. Some went back home. Everyone was different. For 1 year, everyone, got strong.
Can I go back for 1 second? When you were liberated, did you meet any troops from other countries, any American soldiers or any other soldiers?
American. Did you see American? I don't know, all this was Red Cross, yeah. All nice people, no soldiers. These were just people from the Red Cross. No, after the Nazis, we didn't see any soldiers. It was just the Red Cross helping us.
And how did they react to you, the people from the Red Cross?
Oh, they were very nice. Of course, they were wonderful. They felt so sorry for us. Of course, everyone was nice to us. They knew what we'd been through. They knew that we'd lost parents and children. It was like home. It was.
And in the hospital in Sweden, where was that?
School. Yeah, they set up a hospital. And where? Do you know the town? Y-O-N-K. Gettysburg, yeah.
And once you were there, how did you, when you got out of the hospital, then what did you do?
I went back to the same place where I had been freed after the hospital. When we got here, before I went to the hospital, when I was finished the hospital, I went back to where I had been. It was like a home. It was like a camp. It was like a camp, but it was like home. And I went back there and stayed there until my friends were strong and we were all healthy. Then we came to America. Again, someone to Israel, someone to... That's all. So then we came to America.
And how did you find your family?
How'd you find? I mailed the letter. I mailed letter after letter after letter. Heard nothing. I had the wrong address. I remember the address where they lived in New York. 642 dash. I remembered, but I got all these letters back after one after another. But my friend was with me. Her friend lived here in the Bronx. She was from... They were from Czechoslovakia, and the mother and daughter ended up alive together. So I asked her, can your father help me to find where my parents live? She said, sure, come. She wrote to her father. Her father looked in the telephone book, and they found Gottlieb. This was not my father, but it was a man who knew my father from Israel, small world. And this man called my father, finally. And he was happy that my daughter was alive. And they sent me a telegram. And they wanted me to come to America.
Can you describe, how old were you at this point?
Oh, no. That time. About 33. 33. I guess about 33.
Can you describe the journey to America?
To America. What did it feel like? Oh, I was so happy to come to America, to be free. See my mother and father. I hadn't seen them for so many years. 27 years I hadn't seen them. Both had a wonderful time. It was a wonderful time. Good food, there's dancing. I had 5 meals on the boat. For 12 days on the boat, it was a good time. It was a good time.
And who met you at the ship in New York?
My mother and my father was there. My sister was there. They were all there. My little sisters were there. My brother was there. Oh, my brother. Oh, so your brother was not there. He was in college. He was in college. My brother was not there. He was in college.
And how did you feel upon seeing them?
My mother looked the same. My father did not. My father looked different. When I saw him, he had the side locks and the beard. He was shaven here. So he looked so different to me. But they were still kosher, and my mother looked the same to me.
How about your sisters?
Your sisters? They were young, yeah. So, as you get older, you change. But they were still young. They looked the same. They were older. That's all. They were just older, but they looked. Oh, I certainly could recognize them. Of course, and they recognized me right away. And we had seen pictures through the years, so.
And how did they react upon seeing you?
Then we ported. We got our suitcases out. I had to get my visa cleared out. Right, they took my papers. They had to make copies of things when I went through. I only had one passport with me, but your family, yeah. Oh, they were happy to see me. They, of course, were happy to see me after 27 years. Hugs, lots of hugs. My sisters were married. I had never seen them get married. Their children I'd never seen before.
Did you share your experiences with your family? They didn't ask me much questions. We talked a little bit. This is more questions than anyone ever asked me. No, they don't want to think about it. They want to forget. They wanted it to be over. They just wanted not to know. And what were your goals when you got here? What did you want to do with your life?
got here? When you got here? I just wanted to be free. I wanted to visit my sisters. I wanted to go shopping. Remember the 5 and 10? I learned how to speak English so I could shop. But when you're thinking about the goals, what do you want? My father wanted me to stay home and help mommy with work and help my mother. I told my father, no, I'm sorry. I want to go to work and make money for myself, for my future. My father agreed. And I went to school to learn how to sew, to use a sewing machine. Before we had the pedals, now there were electric machines, so I had to go to school to learn. For 3 weeks just, and then I got a job, and I had my own money, and I started saving for my own life. I didn't want to just stay home with my mom.
Did you continue to live at home?
So did you?
I
only lived with my parents for a short time, 2 years, 2.5 years, then I got married. I married my husband and we lived in the Bronx.
How were you received as a survivor and as a deaf person coming to America?
Survivor. No. But I mean, people here in America. They were very nice to me. Everyone was nice to me. Most people lived here. Most people that I knew moved to Florida.
How did you meet your husband?
At the club, at the deaf club. It was a Jewish club. I was sitting by myself quietly. A man came and sat next to me. He had come from, he used to go to school. He lived at the school at FAM, New York School for the Deaf, in White Plains. Oh, probably in Manhattan at that time. I couldn't speak English at that time, a little bit only. I told him I was from Europe, and we understood each other. We made warm up, we made friends, and we went out. And he married me. So it's easy to meet people at the club. It was easy way to meet him. That's the truth.
Did you share your experiences with him of being in the Holocaust?
Oh yes, of course. I have it all written down for me. My husband worked. Where my husband worked, there was a man there who asked about him, where I came from. And he came to the house and he wrote down our paper, and we gave back and forth, and we got all the details down about my experience. That man himself was from Poland, so he wrote beautiful English. So he helped my husband and I to type the paper. He asked all these questions, where'd you come from Germany, the name of the town. Sometimes I made mistakes. We got it all straightened out. We had it all perfect. And then he printed it, and we have that.
Okay, this is the end of tape number 3.